All right, I think we can go ahead and get started now, since we only have 20 minutes for this. So to start off, my name is Callum. I am with Webb Robotics, team 1466. I want to apologize. I am coming off of a cold, so my voice is kind of gone, but let's see what we can do here. So as more people trickle in, I want to go ahead and give an overview of what this presentation is about. So this is about the different kinds of outreach and how you can really implement effective outreach in your team, and what outreach can truly mean to your team, and how it doesn't have to be a rigid definition, and it doesn't just have to be doing things like FLL or FTC, though it completely can be. So, start off, general definition, what is outreach? So outreach is just a general, introducing or encouraging participation or just helping people within your community, within the greater community, global community, just helping and doing what you can to help make things better. So a lot of times people think the First Inspires website tries to help expand science and technology to young people throughout the world. That's first goal. That's their mission, and we like to try to help continue their mission as we all are first kids. So, outreach does help build enthusiasm and support, so that's how you can help get more people. Yeah, well, come on, don't worry about it. So, helping more people get introduced to FIRST and realize it's something that they can participate in, and just, help them get all the benefits that we get by being here. You can go this forward. So your standard outreach in FRC you can increase STEM support and enthusiasm or access. It could be within your team, your school, other FIRST programs, so FTC, FLL, your community, so think, Knoxville, Hardin Valley area, East Tennessee. You can also do it through social media. There's a lot of online outreach that you can do, whether for FIRST or for other programs. And then you can also go to local, state, or national government. There's FIRST on the Hill, up on the hill, I believe, or STEAM on the Hill. I can't remember the exact name for it, but it's where FIRST teams go and help speak to state legislation about the impacts of FIRST and try to help garner more support on a more legislative level. And then in other parts of the world, through online, social media and technology nowadays, it's so easy to come in contact with people in other countries, globally. So you can always mentor and reach out with other teams, and they can be in Europe, they can be in Africa, they can be in Asia, they can be in South America. You don't have to be limited to just who's in Knoxville. But outreach doesn't have to just be FIRST. It doesn't just have to be specifically increasing science and making more kids build robots. It can also be helping tutor at elementary schools. It can be teaching STEM kits, but we'll go over in more detail later how you can build your own STEM kits as a team. You can just help some kids with homework, If you just help people feel more confident in themselves, you're making a good impact on your community. You can help fix toys or machines. You have to think about what your skills are. You're a group of people with technology skills and tools, and you don't have to just use those to build robots. You can use those to fix things in your community. You can always increase visibility for different STEM programs, whether they be FIRST, or like Girls Who Code, or Science Olympiad. And you can also help raise money for groups, whether they're FIRST or something else. So the best way to start implementing outreach strongly in your team is think about why you're doing it in the first place. So it's kind of like robot design. Think about what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish as a team with your outreach? So that will help you define what success is and help you mark how well you're doing towards your goals. And then it also helps you build your target audience and who you're trying to reach within your outreach. So, and every team can be different. You don't have to mark, other FIRST teams are a great example of how you can start building, but you can go beyond them. You don't have to follow their maker model. And you can find what people need in your community. Identify what's lacking or what needs more support. You can do what you can do to help improve those areas. And if you have needs in your team, outreach really helps your team members, even if they're not the ones being specifically the ones benefiting from it. They're gaining skills, they're gaining knowledge, and they're understanding leadership on a deeper level. And they may evolve. A rookie team might have different outreach goals than a team that's been around for 20 years, and that's okay. You just have to think about what you're capable of doing and adjust it to your team's capabilities. So some example goals, you might want to build awareness, which can be focusing on FIRST in robotics. Or you could try to develop interest. Try to convince people within maybe your school community to join your robotics team or something else that's STEM focused. You can just encourage participation, gather support. This can be great with finding new mentors, reaching out to adults within the community who might be able to have an interest in helping young people garner these new skills through FIRST. You can instill pride. That's something that a lot of people don't always think about, but when you tutor kids and help them with their homework, for example, you're helping them feel confident in their abilities. You're helping them feel like they have the abilities to do something that maybe they've struggled with. And just providing support, find a rookie team, give them some advice. There's so many things that you can do. And try to find personal connection. So if your team members are truly passionate about what they're doing, I can guarantee you it will be 10 times more effective. So try to find what your team members care about. What is important to them personally? Because they're going to have more encouragement to do that. So if you choose activities that your team members will want to participate in, it doesn't have to be appeal to everyone, but if you find things that certain people like, then you'll guarantee that you have people who will be willing to help. And consider making incentivized or a team requirement. This is good if you have some goals that are more oriented towards hours or certain levels of outreach. That can help to say, for example, with 1466, we require that every team member have at least 5 hours of team outreach within the team. So something related to STEM or FIRST. And that just helps make sure everyone understands the importance of outreach. So for example, it can be helping with sumo bots. This is really popular because who doesn't love to referee and give fun announcer voices as little robots fight each other? But it also can be helping support menstrual equity at different events. I think this was at Magnolia Regional last year. It also can be just, your robotics team. Help some kids take apart old computers, old keyboards. Just help develop an interest. Here's some more examples. So building awareness, you can do robot demonstrations. So every team, I know we're all building robots for the season, but when the season's over, or when you have downtime, feel free to go to an event like the Muse, or the Tennessee, or the Festival of Reading. Like these places love to have teams do robot demonstrations, where they can see what FIRST truly is. It also helps show that it's not just battle bots, but it is still cool. But yeah, identify audiences that are overlooked, try to think about what are some groups that maybe aren't normally thought about in FIRST, and just see what your team can do to help them. And so developing interest, you can help start introducing younger kids into things that are STEM. This can be FLL, FEC, and it can be other programs like VEX. We use VEX 123 robots a lot to help little kids understand the beginnings of code, just different parts of development. And you can help younger team members connect with people who are already on the team, because it helps them see themselves in the future where they're maybe working on giant 100-pound robots. It's really amazing to see these little kids realize what they can do in the future. And that starts with building an interest early on. You can encourage participation. So recruit within your school. See people who maybe would benefit by being on the team, but maybe think, well, I'm not an engineering student, I wouldn't be able to do them. Show them that there are different parts. There are design, there's media, there's marketing, there's business things. There are so many skills that encompass things beyond the traditional views of STEM that people would benefit from. You can also use your alumni data. So a thing that we like to do is we like to see what our former team members go on to do in college, because usually it shows that they benefit really strongly and they do well in STEM fields. So you can use that data to show the benefits of FIRST long term with some more hard numbers. You can partner with other teams, clubs, or groups. Within our school, we've partnered with the Mindfulness Club to help make little Zen gardens. So you can really group with anyone, because there's so much that your teams can do that you just may not think of as an idea. You can just increase visibility. So an idea for some gathering support is you can practice elevator pitch, which is kind of where you know how to explain first to maybe someone completely unfamiliar with it, explain the benefits, the skills. You can connect with other teams, do things as a group. You don't have to, your outreach doesn't have to just be your team doing amazing. It can be you and another team. You can combine your resources to get so much more. And consider your audience needs. Consider who you're trying to reach to, and make sure that you are acknowledging them and what they need and what they understand. And think about what can your audience take away from these events. So for example, we had an event where we were able to go to, I believe this was the Narcotic Employee Picnic, and we kept mentoring cards where they can see local teams in the area that they can mentor. So just trying to think, it's not just saying, hey, look at this cool robot. It's look at this cool robot and you can help these kids build more cool robots and develop important skills for their future careers. Student showcase. Students are happier, everyone likes to feel proud of themselves. So you can help by showing off what your students have done. So you can celebrate your accomplishments, celebrate what you've done. Make sure to take time within your lab to say, we've had 100 outreach hours across our team. That's amazing. Celebrate, take a moment to think, that is incredible. That is 100 hours of helping your community better. Connect with local media, connect a lot of local news sources, find it interesting and appreciate the outreach that we do for the community. Feel free to reach out to them and see what they can do to help you out. And always stay open to connect with other parts of the community. You can do online things. This was a team with, there were a bunch of different teams across the country, and it was a Connect conference where teams could learn different input and advice from all of them. Team support, there's always a need for support in East Tennessee. So you can always help FLL teams with technical and non-technical parts, because they might need help with coding a robot, but they also might need help with understanding how to work with another fourth grader well. You just need to help these kids develop these skills. Don't limit yourself to local. You can do remote assistance to anyone. Make sure you document what you're doing. So if your goal is recruitment, collect data on where your retention is going. If your goal is team support, document how many teams you've connected with. So a little bit about mentoring FTC and FLL. So FLL has a main focus on project, core values, and robot game. So this is why helping with the more technical parts and non-technical parts can be truly beneficial, because they have a lot more to learning how to present their research and their data in a somewhat scientific manner. And they have very common core values, so a lot of times you can apply the same general ideas that we share in FRC to these groups as well. You can also do some stuff beyond first. You can help local groups, elementary schools. The Boys and Girls Club is one that they're always in need of volunteers. And they love to have STEM kids and STEM lessons. But that's one of the main points I want to talk about is STEM kids. This is something that's super easy to put together, and it's really beneficial to elementary schools, Boys and Girls Club, and let me just say, younger kids absolutely love this stuff. So they're super easy to put together. So one of the favorite activities that the kids always love are these little popsicle stick catapults. And these are super easy to put together because you just need a large pack of popsicle sticks and then just a large bag of rubber bands. And then you've got a catapult. And then the most important thing with these is that you can buy these things for bulk, and then you can show the kids how they make them. And then you can let them take it home. So that way they continue using it as a toy at home, but they're using their skills to build things, put together. They're using problem solving if something happens to fix it. But these are also really cheap and easy to get in bulk. You can make hundreds of kits with just a simple run to Target or the craft store. And it's an easy way to keep kids engaged while also helping them teach important skills related to just general first values and also just skills that everyone needs in life. So that concludes the main portion. Does anyone have any questions?
What would be the youngest kids that you're referring to that you think is appropriate to bring them into this kind of knowledge and activity?
Well, I think you can really do any age level as long as you just tailor it to them. Because I've worked with, I've done STEM nights at local elementary schools where oftentimes younger siblings will come by. And I've worked with kids maybe 3 years old who maybe you have to help them put together the popsicle stick thing, but they see how to do it. They're understanding that you can craft something with something so simple, and then they have an awesome time seeing the little cotton balls fly up in the air. Like, you can really tailor it that way. And I've seen adults also be super enthralled with the, cotton ball catapult. There's just a really large, it can appeal to everyone as long as you just know how to meet with it.
That would also apply to old people too.
Can I ask you real quick, like, how do you first, like, if you want to connect with a team overseas or something, like, what's a good way to do that?
So social media is really great for these. A lot of times teams will do social media to help just document what they're doing. And a lot of times you can reach out to them through, direct messages on those platforms, or you can try to find people who are associated with those and try to either, just email their team or try to email their mentors. Usually people will always take that well, so you don't really have to, just do what you can and see what you can do. All right, anyone else?
I just think it'd be really good for nursing homes too.
All right, well, thank you so much everyone for being in here.
Thank you, good presentation.